sunrise because it brings a new day. I like the sunrise. It brings new hope, they say. I like the sunrise, blazing in the new sky. Nighttime is weary, and so am I. Every evening I wish upon a star that my brand new bright tomorrow isn't very far, when that heavy blue curtain of night is raised up high, way out of sight. Then I like the sunrise, so heavenly to see. I like the sunrise, a guiding light for me. I like the sunrise. I like the sunrise. I like the sunrise. Good morning. We will be opening our contemplative service this morning with two songs. We'll begin with the song Oneness and sing that through twice, and then we'll move on to Be Still and Know That I Am God and sing that one through twice. There's a presence moving softly in the quiet of my being, calling softly all the time. One heart, one mind, one life, united and divine. There's a presence moving softly in the quiet of my being, calling softly all the time. One heart, one mind, one life, united and divine. still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still, be still, be still, and know that I am God.
Good morning. Thank you for coming out on this chilly, chilly morning. Ooh. See a few icicles in the room. And we're blessed with this beauty and all this sun. How nice. So let us begin by lighting the Christ candle. In the beginning was the One presence of the undivided and unmanifest pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us. The creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this in our companion, Mother Earth, and in all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. We light this candle as a visible reminder of the Christ presence expressing in, as, and through us in this present, now moment. Okay, welcome everybody to Unity. My name is Marie Bailey. I am your service assistant today, and our music ministry is the lovely Marcia, blessing us with her beautiful music. And today, are you going to come up and talk? Today our minister is Reverend Frank.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Frank. For those of you who haven't met me, there's some. Hi. Today, you might know that this year we've been leaning into Unity's 12 powers. That's why we have a blue candle, a lot of blue, because we've started the year, January, with the principle of faith. But now it's almost February. And the principle, the power, the attribute of our humanity that we want to really dive in and take a look at is love. So the talk title today may be kind of interesting here. Faith Expressing Love. It's a bit of a transition day. So we'll ditch the blue next week and we move into pink. And it's a little different today, just for those of you who come often and you know sort of the cadence. Today we're going to have a reflection by me, and then we're going to have an extended meditation, and then we're going to end on a little ritual we have, and everybody to do this ritual needs a heart. Hopefully you got one when you walked in the door. I mean a paper heart. I know you have a heart. And a pen. And if you don't have one, there's extras sitting up here by this big heart on the table. You probably see where this is going. Okay. When we end, I'm not going to do the announcements later, so just a quick touch on a few announcements. If you've signed up for the spring class, The Eye of the Storm, you're going to need a book. And I got lots, and I got a box of them back in my office too. So please, before you go today, get a book. If you're not sure if you were going to take the class, I highly encourage you. It's a fun read. It's a great read. And in the class, we're going to do a lot of this book, and we're also going to do just a lot of Q&A and talking about unity. So whether you've been around for decades, but especially if you're more on the newer end, this is a great class to take to kind of see what it's all about. Not what it's all about, but it's a starting place. Also, Jeremy wanted me to remind you on January 31st next week from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, the Reiki. If you've wanted to take a Reiki class so you can be a little more advanced in the practice, or if you've been interested and just want to dive in and really get to know more about the practice of Reiki, it'll be next week, January 31st, Saturday from 10 to 1. In the years past, our art projects, we see some on the walls, and we've been doing collaging this year. And we can talk more about that, but it's going to be first Friday. Now, we used to do third Friday, but since it's power art, it made more sense to, why not the first Friday of the month, start talking about the power that we're going to be talking about all month as a way to dive into it. So if you've put it on your calendar like me, whenever I put it in on pen, it's always going to change, I know. So got to white all that out. It's going to be first Fridays for the rest of the year. Thanks, Malin. And one final request, announcement from Earth Care. We are doing a Earth Day activity that's going to involve making lots of people who come birdhouses for both people in our congregation, and we're going to invite whoever wants to come. Lots of kids love this too, to make birdhouses and then have an activity followed by a film inside. So we'll have a birdhouse film Earth Day celebration that's coming up in April, but we need to start making the forms. And the way they're going to do this, if anyone has like an old cedar fence they've taken down, and you have those cedar planks, anybody have got some of those in their garage? 1, 2, we've got a couple. Okay, we could really use those cedar planks. And say, yay, like, and you're just really happy to get rid of them? Yeah, okay, I see 2. I'll talk to you after, and we'll get busy cutting up the frames for the birdhouses. Okay, that's the announcements. And there's more. You look in your bulletin for others.
We are, we are a joyful, evolving spiritual community committed to spiritual practices, compassionate service, and living on purpose. This is our mission statement here at Unity. And as a joyful, evolving, and spiritually conscious community, Unity of Bellingham celebrates the uniqueness of everyone, recognizing and welcoming each person as a beautiful expression of the one. Being inclusive and non-discriminatory, we acknowledge the divine presence in all life and honor their positive presence, blessing, and contribution to the world. So if everybody maybe wants to turn around and say hello to the people behind us, if you want to just maybe wave across the room to the people that you're saying hi to locally. And this is so exciting. These contemplative services are just, they're contemplative, but they're fun, they're just joy, they're kind of a way to empty the cup and fill the cup at the same time. I love it. So let's settle back into our space and feel the spirit of love move. And just take a moment to gently move in and move the breath in and move the breath out. And please join me in saying our 5 principles. And I encourage you to take a beat between each one so you can let it kind of soak in a little bit. God is good and present in all things. The holiness of God is my own true nature. I am creating my experiences by how I think, feel, and believe. My thinking is guided by my daily affirmative prayers and affirmative actions. I follow and am sustained by these values in every way, every day, and so it is.
As Marcia was playing, I'm watching these birds jump around in the trees. I would name that song, I don't know, winter bird hopping song. So sweet. We start today with a parable. It sort of sets the stage for this idea of faith and love and how they work together, or not. And it's a parable called the story of Jonah. Some of you might know parts of this story. It's an actually small piece of Hebrew scripture in the Bible. In just 4 chapters, it's like a page and a half. And I don't know if Jonah was a fictional, a historical person or fictional, but he would have been in the time where the two kingdoms, there was Israel to the north and Judah to the south. And there was this huge kingdom called Assyria. And they were expanding, and they eventually destroyed the kingdom of Israel. They sort of wiped it out and took everyone's slaves, and it just, it was kind of awful for them. So this would have been the time this story takes place. And there's this guy named Jonah, and he gets this sense, God speaks to him. So I kind of think God speaks to me is like I get a hit. It's like, But let's just play the parable out. So God speaks to Jonah, and he says, Jonah, who's this good Hebrew prophet, you need to go to the Assyrians, to which anybody who heard the story in the day would have been going, boo, terrible people, awful, the bad guys, right? And the Hebrews were the good guys in this story. And you need to go talk to them because they're really not doing so well. The way they're living is just not healthy. They need to transform. Could you go talk to them and tell them about what you know and uplift their lives and see if you can find a way to convince them to transform into a higher consciousness and a different way of living? Now, by the way, this is my interpretation. All the story says is God told Jonah to go to Nineveh and preach to them. That's all it says. So I'm ad-libbing a little bit here. It's like, well, something like this. So Jonah, of course, says, no way. I'm not doing that. I hate those guys. I don't want to see them change because I know that I have power as his prophet. And I know that what I see and what I do is going to have huge repercussions. And I know that my actions have meaning. And I know that if I go talk to these people and tell them that this understanding about their possibility for their transformation, they might do it. I don't want them to do it. I would rather, God, you go down and destroy them. That's what I would prefer. Because, I'm right and they're wrong. You see where this is going. I'm right and they're wrong. We're the good guys, they're the bad guys. Ooh, deep in the soup of duality here. So Jonah says, I'm out of here. So he gets on a boat in the Mediterranean and he goes the other way. And of course, the storm kicks up and the winds are blowing, which metaphysically, this is metaphysical, or you can think of this as a way to interpret your dreams or kind of look at what's going on in our subconscious. There's this churning, this feeling of like things are unsettled. This isn't right. The sailors say, somebody did something here because we're about ready to get swamped in our boat. And they figure it out. It's Jonah's running away from God. So Jonah goes, all right, the only way to fix this is toss me overboard. So they go, sorry, God, forgive us. And they toss Jonah into the sea, where instantly he's swallowed by a giant fish. They always say it's a good fish story. And metaphysically, or if you think in terms of the symbology of this, is in Scripture, as well as I would suggest if you have a dream, or you read this in fiction or fairy tales, any kind of symbolic language. A fish represents a multitude. You go to the ocean and you see a school of fish, and it's just almost like infinite. It's plenitude, it's abundance, it's just so much potentiality. And not only does he get into this fish, he gets into a giant fish, which symbolizes that he's been eaten up in a field of full, awesome potentiality. Like, he thinks he's running away, but there's this energy that says, look at what's possible if only you will follow your heart. Your heart, that divine presence, has already told you, go to Nineveh. Nineveh, this town in Assyria, is like a capital town, and it's ginormous. And metaphysically, it represents this huge possibility, but they've only experienced their abundance on the material plane. They haven't yet had a prophet like Jonah. They haven't yet heard this sense that there is an abundance in your spiritual potentiality and these other kind of possibilities. You're just seeing what you can see on the sense consciousness, but Jonah's there to tell them there is something greater. There is something deeper. There is something more if you will listen to this. And Jonah doesn't want to tell them. But in that fish, 3 days and 3 nights, he's swallowed by this ginormous fish. And this deep symbology that, Jonah, there is more available to you than you can possibly even imagine. You're good, the possibility is bigger and larger than you even can contemplate. And so 3 days later, after this great awakening, this turmoil, this opening, this evolution, this emergence of consciousness, the fish spits him out on the shore, right back to kind of where he was. And Jonah goes, okay, I'll go to Nineveh. And he walks for 3 days across the town, and he tells them, hey, see, this is the fun thing. It doesn't say what he told them. It just says he goes for 3 days and he preaches in Nineveh. So here's Frank ad-libbing again. There's a transformation available to you. You're living on this material plane, and there is something greater, something transformative. You're living in the sense where you know through your faith, because what you believe is outpicturing, but you're only doing it in a limited way from the material perspective. You haven't started opening up in consciousness. And I know, this prophet says, I'm in touch with the God, in touch with this divine power. If you open to that divine essence of yourself, wow, what's possible is immense. And the people in Nineveh believe him. And they say for 40 days they fasted and they repented, which means rethought. Rethought what they're doing. Repent in Latin. Rethink it. And then God says, hey, good job. And Jonah is mad. They listened to me. I really didn't want him to. I wanted, this was the smoting stuff. I wanted God to come get him. And he complains. He complains to God. At the end of this very small parable, Jonah is sitting there and he goes in this little lean-to and he's all depressed because Nineveh is all transformed and they've all done all this spiritual work and they've all uplifted their consciousness and they're all doing so much better. And he says, he prayed to God. This is what I told you would happen, God. When I was still at home, this is what I tried to forestall by fleeing away from Nineveh. I knew that you're a gracious and a compassionate God, slow to anger, and I knew you were abounding in love. I knew you were a God who relents from ever sending calamity. Good news, bad news. Jonah, I feel this. This is my sort of feeling as I just ponder this story. And see if it makes sense to some part of you. Because that's the whole point of these stories, right? There's this part of us that sees the world in a very cause and effect and on a material plane and wants to be right and they're wrong and wants to get it my way and wants to say there's something good. Do you ever notice when someone says there's only one way, there's a right way and a wrong way? And when they say that, they always mean the way they're doing it's right. Nobody ever says there's a right way and a wrong way, and I'm wrong. We're always, as soon as we do duality, we're always on the right side, right? Has anyone not done that? There's good guys and bad guys, and I'm a bad guy. No, we're always thinking we're the... And he has this sense of like, this love that transcends this duality and invites people into this wholeness. And he says, Jonah, you got to get out of your old way of thinking of this duality stuff. And I invite you into this deep reflection, this place where you go into your subconscious, where you get swallowed by your giant fish of your unconscious, where things are unfolding and you hear this divine message that says ultimate compassion for all, ultimate opening to the possibility of the transformation of all, an openness to a forgiveness and the full potentiality of all. Of all what? You can think of this in terms of what's going on in the outer world, or maybe the place to start, I always find for me, is start with my own inner world. What is the places in me where I'm still looking at it like, that place is just, I can't even talk about it. This place in me that still needs transformation or still needs upliftment or still needs a way to see that it can be forgiven, a way that it can be spoken to, that can be transformed in a way that instead of looking at it with disgust and I'll never like those Nineveans, is there a part of me I can look at it and go, yeah, but that's part of me too. That's just a part of me. I can accept it and I can find a way to transform it. And the way to do that is through this heart, through compassion, through this undying love, through this embrace. And it doesn't change the history of Israel and the Assyrians were always fighting in a war. It doesn't change that there was tension, but it softens. And yet, even when I have found this for myself, even when I have experiences of softening in my heart, and then it can be a place for transformation, it feels like there's these old patterns sometimes that go, I still have that habit that doesn't seem to work for me very well. And it's okay. This is the process. This is the potentiality. Maybe I think of the big fish. If I'm feeling I'm stuck on something or there's an area of my life I'd like to speak to and transform the Nineveh in me that has this huge potential, but I want to lift it up for new potentiality, I can go to my heart. I can allow that part of me to be swallowed by a fish go to the unconscious and just allow that divine presence to come through and work through in whatever way it does to uplift us. And so for the rest of this service, it's the question. It's the question that the divine asked of Jonah. Is it possible we can go to our heart? Is it possible we can go to that place of love? For what? For all of it. The embrace of the fullness of our humanity. This same message that this God finds all these places, even in the nooks and crannies, and looks for a way to redeem and transform and lift up all those parts of us to bring us forward. Yeah. Let's do a meditation on love.
So as we settle in for meditation, I invite you to close your eyes or keep the gaze soft. You might even want to gently gaze out on our splendor on the other side of the window here, and simply allow yourself to receive my words and the vibration of the music directly and non-mentally. Now bring your attention to your breath. And gently feel the breath moving in and out of the body. And as you gently breathe, feel the body soften. And as you breathe, feel yourself beginning to move into a different space now. A field of softening, a field of slowing, a field of remembering. Feel the heart softening, and feel the heart beginning to remember. Let me remember. Let me remember the truth of who I am. Let me remember my innocence. Let me remember my pure, uncensored, and original self. Let me remember my joy, my wonder, and the unrestrained gleefulness of myself as a child. Let me remember my infinite capacity to love. And let me remember the purity of my heart and my soul. Let me remember who I am. Let me remember my beauty, so vast and glorious and so precious it can only be seen through the eyes that love. Let me remember that my awareness has no limits, no boundaries, and has always been aware of everything. Let me remember that my ability to feel and to feel absolutely everything is a gift and a strength, always offering itself for more discovery, more wonder, more revelation, and more enlightenment. Let me remember to feel my body, to feel my inner world and the world around me, and to be informed by what I feel. Let me remember to breathe and to release all struggle so I can experience myself in the most expansive and extraordinary way that I can. Let me remember to listen and hear the beauty of the song of the birds. Let me remember to look and see the beauty of the color of the sky. Let me remember to receive and bask in the beauty of the light twinkling on the leaves of the trees, glistening on the morning dew, and sparkling on all the waters of Mother Nature. Let me remember to feel and absorb the warmth and the regenerative light of the sun. And let me remember that my body and my soul, like all life, are nurtured and fed and loved by the sun. Let me remember to honor and cherish the soil of this earth, which humbly and miraculously grows and holds all life on this wondrous planet. Let me remember to deeply appreciate the air that I breathe and that keeps me alive. And humbly remember the power of the wind. Sometimes a gentle breeze, sometimes a mighty storm swirling with thunder and lightning. Let me remember the magnificence and the mystery of the oceans and the life-giving miracle of water. Let me remember the radiance, the beauty, and the inconceivable, extraordinary, and phenomenal power of fire. Fire is made of light and heat and color, and how mightily it can burn. And let me remember these are known and felt within me, and like them, I am incomprehensible, magnificent, and miraculous. Let me remember I can trust myself in the quietness within me. And as I rest in the stillness of the present moment, the truth reveals itself. Let me remember that I am an eternal being of pure, infinite love, embodied here on this miraculous and abundantly generous planet. Let me remember. Let me remember my light which is of a frequency so bright and so pure and so brilliant it cannot be seen by the human eye, but it can be seen by the inner eye of my own being. Let me remember that I can see my light if I look through my heart and remember the truth of who I am. Let me remember that I have access to an infinite and never-ending supply of pure love. This love is so vast and so big and so powerful, it almost cannot even drip a drop of itself into this reality. Let me remember I can create the reality in which this love can express itself through me because I am love. I am loving and I am loved. Let me remember. Let me remember that I have access to infinite peace. This peace reveals itself within me in the quietness at the end of a deep breath. And when I feel for it, this infinite love and unconditional peace reveal more fully, more deeply, and more clearly now that I realize I have been longing for this my whole life. Not only longing, but starving. Let me remember the eternal love and peace of my own beautiful being. Let me remember why I am here, why I chose to come to this time, to this dimension. Let me remember with gentleness and compassion for myself. Let me remember that as I learn to open and feel everything more and more, I do remember the truth of who I am. Let me remember that I am here to fully remember and love my own true, infinite, magnificent, radiant, expanding, evolving, passionate, adorable, innocent, powerful, and uncensored self. Let me remember. Let me remember. Let me remember.
So if you would, take a breath. You might shake your shoulders for just a second. I invite you to allow your attention to come back to the room. And each of you have a heart, little paper heart, and hopefully have a pen. We have pens and more hearts if you need them. And in this space and in this reflective time, there's a question. What is your heart asking of you right now? Or you might phrase it as, what is my heart asking for me to be or to do in regards to my own self-transformation? Or what is my heart asking of me right now to be or to do in relationship to a special person in my life? What is my heart asking me to be or to do in relationship to a larger community? For unity, for my country, for the world. However the question lands for you, in this place of our heart consciousness, what is arising for us? And you can put that in a word, in a phrase, in a sentence. And the fun thing is, if you've got more than one, we've got extra hearts. Just take a couple minutes in that energy. Nobody's going to see this but you. This is just letting your heart express its desire. The spiritual heart to express its desire. The heart of your eternal, universal self to express its desire. Take a minute. Your red heart. Can I borrow? You were sitting on it, I put it on. Are people gonna go face down? Face down. Oh, that's good. And then when you're ready, and we have enough room up here for at least a couple people to come up, you may not have seen we have this large heart. And we're going to ask you to we're going to make a collage of small hearts glued onto the large heart so that our heart intentions can support each other and vibrate together and resonate together, so that all our heart intentions can combine to strengthen our resolve, our desire, our energy, our expression. And you can put what you wrote face down. No one needs to see that. When you're ready, you can come up. So put the glue on your words. Glue the side with your words on it, yeah. many extra hearts as well. So we're going to fill this up. If you've already done one, do a second one. No spaces left. Unhearted. I think it'll.
As the ushers come forward for our offering, we know abundance is our divine inheritance. Giving is our gift of love and appreciation. And we always appreciate your generosity in support of this ministry we are creating together. This includes each of you with us in person and those of you at home. Thank you. And as you take your offering to your heart, affirm quietly to yourself, I give freely and joyfully, for God is my source, and I have abundance in all areas of my life. And now please join me as we say our offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. And I am touched by amazing grace. And and all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed was already there, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. And it is health to my body, it is strength to my mind, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out my simple prayer. Thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It's nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. And it is health to my body, it is strength to my mind, it is joy, it is joy, it is joy, joy to my soul. And I breathe out my simple prayer. Thank you. And it is, and my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It's nearer than the air.
And so we are grateful for these gifts, and so much gratitude for everyone here, for everyone online. Thank you. May they go forward to support the ministry of Unity of Bellingham. May they go forward in all sorts of ways to support programs that uplift our hearts and allow us to express that divine potential to the world, to our families, to ourselves. Yeah. May they support Unity worldwide for peace and transformation to a loving, peaceful planet. And so it is, and amen. And as we close, a special thanks to Malin. Thank you for bringing this big wooden heart for us to use, and Deborah for cutting out all these colorful pieces. Thank you for allowing for that. Thank you, Marcia, for the music. Thank you, Marie, for that meditation. I think I'm still sitting in that energy. Thank you, AV folks. Thank you, everyone online. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Rosemarie, for setting out food. Thank you for all those who, I don't know who you are yet, but are going to help clean up afterwards. Please join me in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The presence of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.
and all is well. Peace, everyone. Thank you. Have a good day.